Hey guys, it's Clouds here, back with another video. I hope everyone is having an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for stopping by in this video. I really appreciate it. And of course, guys, I do want to apologize for the lack of uploads recently. We are back to 4 to 5 videos a week now. So if you are new around here, make sure to go check out the rest of the content. But anyways, guys, let's jump into the video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about top 5 camp upgrades that you can buy from the Atomic Shop. Now, of course, these are my top 5 and what I find most useful. I know there is a lot of people with different opinions on this, but I find myself kind of using these a lot, very often, pretty much before and after events. Every time I log in as well, I'll be going to the camp using these. So, of course, it's up for debate on which ones are the best, and that is completely cool. But, of course, I'm just going to go through what I personally feel are the best ones and ones that I use all the time. I did try to mix it up with the variety in this video as well, guys. But, of course, let's get on with the rest of the video. I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so let's start off the video with probably the one that no one can really debate is the Collectron. Now, here we have the Comrade Collectron that you can get. Of course, every Collectron can sometimes collect different items. Some are very similar, but the Comrade Collectron specializes in collecting consumables, melee weapons, junk, ranged weapons, and more junk. So for the Collectron, they are very, very useful. I use my Collectron all the time. I normally set mine actually to weapons just so I can get all those mods unlocked, because of course if you scrap your weapons you have a chance of getting the mod for that weapon for future weapons that you want to craft. So I always find the Comrade Collectron really, really useful for a lot of these things. Now, of course, as mentioned, there are different Collectrons for different things. For instance, if you've got the Auto Miner Collectron, it collects ore. Or if you're doing the Fetch Collectron, which is the robotic dog, which is currently in the Atomic Shop, there is junk and some ammo as well and electronics in that one. So, of course, there is a variety, but I always have my Collectron on the go, always collecting new things, and also scrap. You know, it's always good to have more and more materials. So, again, Collectrons are very, very useful. Now, jumping on to quite an interesting one here, guys. We're jumping onto the popcorn machine, or more precisely, the Nuka-Cola popcorn machine. So, the cool part about this, it generates one popcorn every 10 minutes and 12 seconds, which will come in useful as we'll use it in a later part of the video as well. But again, I use this pretty much every day. Now, it initially came out in the Spooky Scorch 2021 event, which you could then purchase it for gold bullion. But now I believe it's only in the Atomic Shop to purchase. But the cool thing about this is you do get minus 25% for hunger and thirst, as well as 4 health points and 60 action points. Now, I do see myself using this a lot, pretty much every day, which I always then pick it up as well if you ever go to someone else's camp. So yeah, it's a cool one to have. It reduces that hunger and thirst, and it's just useful to have around the camp. Now, jumping onto the Fusion Core Recharger, this one is pretty self-explanatory. It just pretty much recharges your fusion cores. Now, for 2 reasons you'd kind of want this. One, if you're always using power armor and you have a lot of fusion cores built up and you can just chuck 4 in here at a time and you can make multiple of them. Secondly, if you're also using a Gatling gun, a Gatling laser gun to be precise, as that can also be used for this as well. So if you're using a lot of your power armor or using that weapon, this is a really good one to pick up. Now, jumping onto Joe's coffee machine. Now, this is a really popular one on the Reddit and the Fallout 76 community. A lot of people recommend this to pick up from the Atomic Shop. Now, with canned coffee itself, you can pick it up in multiple areas around the Fallout 76 universe. But to be honest with you, they are a bit harder to come by, and there's only certain locations where you can find a lot of them. So a lot of people then opt for the coffee machine. Now, there is a downside to this. I haven't really mentioned it for the rest of the items, but for this one specifically, it normally comes in a bundle in the Atomic Shop, so you can't just buy it individually. But the reason why so many people are interested in this, it gives you plus 12 action points for 25 seconds, and you can stack it all the way up to 300 action points. So it's definitely worth a good pickup if you're looking to mess around with your builds or kind of figure out what you like and what you don't like. A lot of people use this as well if you're going for or you wanted to try out a melee build, but you don't have the perks for the melee build, but you want to give it a go. They'll use the canned coffee to try and get the most out of it and see how it goes. So it's a really good one to mess around with some perks on there as well. But yeah, guys, it's a good one to have, as you don't have canned coffee to hand all the time in the world. So fifth and finally, guys, we are going to be doing the Mothman's Moth Sanctuary. Now, there is also the Butterfly Sanctuary, which of course you can use also, that produce waste acid. I personally use the Moth Sanctuary. Now, this is really good. I use this every day. I wasn't too sure if I wanted to include this, as it doesn't get mentioned a lot online, but I use it every day, especially when I go on my runs. So things like copper, gold, lead, etc. I use acid all the time to put it into scrap, to use it for other things. So I found this useful. Of course, you can find acid in the open world, and that pretty much goes for all items on this list, but it's great just to have in your camp, and after you do your runs, you have acid that's already put away in the stash. So guys, that concludes the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure to hit that sub and like button. It would be massively appreciated. But yeah, guys, I just want to quickly mention this was, of course, aimed at more newer players to the game. You know, you don't have to go out and buy this. It is not essential. Most of these items you can pick up by just exploring. I use these just because it makes my life a little bit easier, and if you didn't know what some of them meant, it may come in useful. But I just want to say thank you all once again for checking out the video. Again, guys, I'll be uploading back to 4 to 5 days a week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.